So I'm going to tell you two things that you can master, and really the only things you need to master in order to not only feel confident in social situations, but you're going to look confident. You know, once you master these two things, people are going to see you and they're going to be like, this guy, he has it. Like, it has that aura. You have that aura. And I'll be honest with you, aura is like what these younger kids are saying, right? But we didn't have this word when I was like trying to figure this out because when I was little, right, I was trying to search up, and I remember I would like search this up on YouTube and like Google, right? I remember I looked so awkward in conversation that I would search up like, oh, how to look better, how to be more attractive, because we all know these people who they look confident, they just have it, something about their personality. It's just like cool, it's nonchalant. And my biggest problem, right, was just looking awkward. Like I was super insecure on the way I look. I was a really unattractive guy. I was super insecure, and I had low self-esteem when I was like in middle school and high school, right? But I would see these guys, and I was just like, dude, like, what makes someone like attractive? Like, how do you like look confident, and how do you act confident to the point where like people like kind of respect you in a way? And we all know personally that, people judge. We judge as humans. We make quick assumptions within like 5 seconds. So I remember during this time, I was doing a bunch of experimentation. I was trying to find out what ways that you can do to look more confident, get respect with people. And within all that research, within all those hours, there were two things that I found that have extremely helped me so much. I remember I started doing these two things I'm going to tell you, right? And people have actually called me like an extrovert. People have called me, oh, bro, like, the way you move, like it's so chill, it's nonchalant, you're a chill guy, compared to when people were calling me awkward. Because when I was in school, right, I was known as the kid who never spoke. I was that shy kid. So I started doing these two things, and not only have they made me feel more confident, but it has completely skyrocketed my social skills and have changed the way people see me, right? So the first thing that you can start doing, and let me pull this up so I can tell you exactly what it is. The first thing is turning criticism into confidence. This is going to give you like plus 100 aura, right? This is what these younger kids are saying, right? So literally what you can do is the next time you're facing like a problem, like if you're facing criticism in a social situation, let's say someone makes fun of your shirt. Imagine you're wearing like a red shirt, and I was like, dude, your shirt's kind of ugly, bro. I don't like it whatsoever. It's why are you wearing that? Like, bro, what the heck? And if I were to experience this when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, you don't like the shirt, you don't like it. Oh, I'm sorry, I would be like that. But this causes people to disrespect you, right? Causes people to be like, dude, like this guy, he has like no confidence in what he's saying, right? So literally, what you can do, you can just be like, oh, that's too bad. I like my red shirt. I like what I'm wearing. That's too bad. I wear this shirt every single day. And literally, what this doing is that if someone is giving you like criticism on an opinion that you have, literally stick with it. Stick with your opinion. Stick with whatever you went with. Because if you change your opinion, people are basically going to see you and they're going to be like, oh, this guy, he changes the way people think about him. If I think about him one way, he's going to change it. He's a people pleaser. And nobody likes that. But if you stay with your opinion and if you stay with yourself, stay whatever you believe in, stay, if you still stay with whatever you chose to do, stay with it. Because people are going to be like, oh, this guy, he's getting lots of criticism, but he doesn't change the way that people think about him. And this kind of thing is interesting enough. This idea of like having this like frame, right, like believing and having confidence and grounded in who you are, right, it honestly comes back to like respect and like flirting as well. Because I remember I was watching this dating coach, right, his name is like FitX Fearless, and he was basically saying on how like women test guys on their confidence, and women like kind of do things sometimes to see how much confidence a guy has. So for example, this coach, he was basically telling a story on how, one time this girl, like, he was on a date, and this girl was like, hey, I don't like your shoes. Your shoes are like kind of, those aren't really my style. And this coach, he was basically like, okay, if it was younger me back then, I would have been so wishy-washy. Like I would have been like, oh, you don't like my shoes? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go change them next time. I won't wear them. But you don't want to do that because the girl is gonna be like, oh, This guy has no confidence. He liked the shoes, but because I don't like him, he's gonna change his opinion. But this dating coach, he didn't do that. This dating coach, he was like, "Oh, you don't like my shoes? Oh, that's too bad. These are my favorite shoes. These are actually like the best shoes that I've worn. I wear these shoes every single day." And so when he did that, this actually caused the girl to like him more because the girl was just like, "Oh no, this guy has confidence. This guy, he doesn't care what other people think. He did something. He sticks with it. He's grounded in his decision." So the reason why I'm telling you that is because whenever you're receiving criticism in conversation, stay grounded in whatever you did and whatever you do. And I'm not saying to like, be stuck up, be tell people that they're wrong or anything, or like don't get emotionally bothered by this, but just be like, "Ah, bro, like, yeah, I do like for example, if you do fitness, be like, oh yeah, I'm into fitness, like whatsoever, yeah." So be grounded in the decisions that you make. That's a huge one. Second thing that is going to give you kind of just like this personality, and this is more of like a physical thing you can start doing, right? Is taking things a lot slower. So everything that you do, I want you to do just a little bit slower than you normally do. And by the way, this tip right here, this is something you want to slowly but surely increment in your life because taking things slowly and doing everything slowly, it's going to get used to. But with time, start implementing these things that I'm going to tell you. But I remember this one time I was in school, and every single day in school, I would see this guy who would walk super fast, like abnormally fast. Like this guy would walk fast, like to class, like to everywhere, and it was just kind of weird. And I remember I was with like a group of friends like one time, and me and this group of friends, we saw this guy, and we would kind of like subconsciously make fun of him. We're just like, bro, it's this little short guy. Why is he walking so fast? And so we would see him every day, right? And we were just like, oh, this guy, he's probably a shy guy, he probably doesn't have a lot going from him. And then one day we see him again, and bro literally comes out and he's talking to the most attractive girls in the school. And we all know who these were, so we were just like shunned. We're just like in awe, right? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because the fact he was walking fast all the time and doing things fast subconsciously made us think that this guy was nervous, that this guy he was always rushing everywhere. And when you do things slower, when you take your time with things, people are going to see this and they're going to be like, oh, this guy's taking his time, there's no need to rush. This guy, he's just taking his time, there's no need to act fast, to walk fast. So literally a couple things that you can do to act slower in things that you can do to start getting that, or start looking more confident in social situations, involves walking, talking, your reactions, gestures, and smiling. So I'm gonna kind of hit these points so you can start doing and implementing step by step, right? So walking, right? I just gave you the story and how this guy he started walking fast. And you might be thinking, oh, how slow do I walk? Obviously you want to do these things like moderately. So you don't want to do everything slow to an extent where you look like just like stupid, right? But when you walk, think about the breathing technique. So I like to think about this. So we all know the in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four, in, two, three, four, out, two, three, four. So basically, you can start doing that at like a moderate pace. And when you breathe in, when you breathe on the in, two, three, four, is when you can walk, and then out, two, three, four. You could start matching your footsteps with your breathing, and that's extremely helping so much. When you're talking, I want you to slow down a little bit when you talk. Slow down just a little bit, and people are going to see you, and they're going to be like, "Oh, this guy, he's not. His hands aren't everywhere. He's not speaking super fast. It doesn't look like he's nervous like this." When you speak slower, when you say your opinion, when you take time to pause, it's gonna make you look a lot better. Reactions, right? This is something has helped me so much, right? When you're reacting to things. So, for example, if I had like, let's say, if I had like this pencil, right? Imagine like I'm in the middle of the room and I drop this, right? And as soon as it falls, I quickly pick it back up, right? When people see that, sign of nervousness. People are gonna think you're nervous. But imagine same thing happens. I drop it. I'm just like, oh, just dropped it. Slowly pick it back up. It's going to look a lot better. So use these things in conversation, using criticism into confidence, and then doing things a lot slower than you normally do. It's going to make you look a lot better, and people are going to see you as more confident.